Hello, welcome
Admítame.
to Seen It All. Today we are going to talk about a movie that is from 1995 called My Family, Mi Familia. It was a 1995 movie, right? Based on a movie. And the movie actually did financially well. They filmed it for what, $5 million, and they made $11 million in the box office. So double the money. So, which is good, I guess. The movie is basically it's about a multi-generational drama that was directed by Gregory Nava, and I love that Francis Ford Coppola brought this project alive. It's really rare. I didn't even know he did this. That caught me off guard. But the movie
That I
chronicles,
didn't know as well.
yeah, all right. I was like, what? Not only do
Oh,
I
sh-
like his wines and his movies too, man. Yeah, the movie chronicles the trials, tragedies, and triumphs of the Mexican American family Sanchez, basically living in East L.A. So there's three generations that what the movie's about. The first generation is about Jose and Maria, aka J.Lo, and then they built
Woo.
their home in East LA in the 30s. And it's about Maria's struggle to come back to the U.S. after the government deported her because they blamed Mexicans for the Great Depression. And then the second generation is it's written by Paco, but Paco doesn't do anything in this movie, so I don't understand why he's even in there. He's just a narrator. But it just focuses on like six kids, how they navigate through life, building their own identity and, just the hurdles they go through from the 50s to 60s. This is where is, I think, Chucho. Rest in peace, man. This is the only movie I know where I actually like this character, Chucho. I always think of him from Selena, right? No, not Selena. Is it Selena? No, Ricky Valens one, the one Ricky's brother. And then the third generation just focuses on Jimmy, and who's an ex-con, and focusing about his wife, and then his marriage to a refugee, and then building a family,
So
building
hard.
that trust. Yeah. But yeah, so little fun facts is that in this movie, if you guys pay close attention to it,
Don't
Jimmy
cry.
gives his son a Star Wars toy. And you know what that toy is?
Lego.
Um,
Lego top. What?
it's a Star Wars.
Starfleet.
No, man. It was on Solo's ship.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
anyway. And then 8 years later or 10 years later, Jimmy is part of the Star Wars universe. So that's pretty cool. Oh man,
He
he's the
is.
one that saved Princess Leia. He's the one that raised
I
Princess
honestly
Leia.
haven't.
Oh,
I didn't see the
it's
movie, man.
the worst, the worst. Yes, he raises Princess Leia. Okay, Jimmy goes from being ex-convict Vato to I don't even know what his ranking is in Star Wars, but he raises Princess Leia as his own daughter. So good for Jimmy. And then, as we were talking off camera, this is J.Lo's, kind of breakthrough role that got her noticed as an actress before she became big. I know her from Anaconda, and then on from there, I don't remember. And Selena, yeah, Anaconda and Selena, and then that's how I remember her from being famous. But I didn't know she was in this movie, so she did really good. I thought she did really well. But yeah, besides that, like I said, it was Francis Ford Coppola who made this movie. So it was good to see that was there. But besides that, the box office, the movie did really well. Not as big as probably they were expecting, but it did really do well. So, but
It did
besides that,
okay.
Juan, it did all right. Yeah, and then yeah, that's about it. Juan, this is your movie. Let's talk about it.
All right. So thanks for the intro and the little whys of the movie. I chose this movie, one, obviously, because it's based in LA. And two, I think there's a lot of similarities to what's going on in today's life here in the States. All right, we'll start off with the scene stealer. For me, it was the father. To me, he just resembles, I don't want to say all because, every Latino, even Mexican American has a different upbringing, but in general, he seems like your traditional immigrant dad that comes here, and I don't want to say that he suppresses his emotions. I want to say he's focused more on surviving, which means work and
Yeah.
providing, food and shelter to his family, and his emotions come secondary. And I think people dismiss the father as maybe not intelligent or sophisticated in regards to to emotions or things that are going on. But I think the father just chooses to speak when the time is right, and he has a lot of knowledge to give.
For me, it's got to be Chucho, baby, Chucho. It was interesting. This is my second movie I ever seen him in. Like I said, the first one was La Bamba movie, Richie's brother. So it's nice to see him in something different and playing. I mean, he's still playing, he's playing a different role. And I think he stole the movie because, he says a lot of hard facts to his dad, like who cares about respect? Who cares about how hard you worked to be here or get here? That's what you think it's important here. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And the only thing that really matters is if you have, how much money you have or how much money you make. Doesn't matter how you're making it. And I think they got into a fight for that. I think he made a really good point. And then the other thing is Chucho set up the last part of the movie, which is Jimmy's fight and struggle to live and be part of a community and not be so lost because he's in jail because he saw what happened to Chucho and he couldn't handle it. So I think Chucho was and then in the beginning of the movie, Chucho was also the center of the river crossing where La Virgen, what was it they were saying? La Virgen quiere, or El Rio, whatever, wanted to take Chucho or something like that. And you have to pray
Right.
to La Virgen or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically like paying a toll, and the toll is the kid's life.
Yeah. Was that what it was? Dang, I missed that reference.
Well, like spiritually, like the spirit of that river was, in order to cross the river during those dangerous moment, basically the toll was the kid's life, but the mom prayed, and basically she knew that it was kind of like alone, meaning that at some point that spirit's going to come back for its fee, if you will.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think Chucho, but yeah, I like Chucho. I think Chucho stole everything for me. All right, bro, your turn.
Chucho was the protagonist in Mission Impossible, the last one.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, remember there's the Asian girl. Yeah. The guy with the tall, well, basically, what was it called? Gray hair?
Yeah.
That's him. That's Chucho.
Chucho.
Yeah.
Look at that, making movies with Tom Cruise. Good for him.
Moving on up, man. Moving up in his work.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, for me it was Jimmy. I liked his role, everything about his story. I liked his badass attitude, women changing him, and basically, I just liked the part where he was sharing his feelings about what he went through, seeing somebody die in front of him and her too. And I think he did an excellent job, even though he wasn't as much as I wanted him to. But anyway, I think he stole the scene for me. He did a good job being that bad and everything. And then good acting, and of course giving into being into this marriage thing, which I don't think it was that easy in real life. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, that was it for me.
All right. Now, what about best lines, worst lines? Overall, I don't think there was any like best line. I thought there were some good moments in writing. I kind of agree with you, Richard, in regards to Chucho bringing up, the only thing that they respect here is money, which is partially true. I think so. And for worst lines, for me was I don't think it was necessarily a worse line. It was more of like, wow, I didn't, especially for being the 90s, I didn't think they were going to write that line. And it was when Jimmy's wife, she was working with this white family and I forgot the name of the actress. Well, I know the actress because she's famous, but I can't remember her character's name. But she's having like lunch or tea with a friend, and she's telling her friend that her nanny got pregnant. And the friend
Oh
says,
yeah.
they're always getting pregnant. I was like, oh my
Oh, it's good.
God.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What else is new?
Yeah. Not that it's a bad line. I was just surprised that they wrote it. I was like,
Yes, true.
which is,
Yeah.
I'm sure is what people say and think, it's very true. I'm not negating that. And then another part
Yeah.
for worst line is this Jennifer Lopez Spanish accent. When she's speaking Spanish, I'm like, oh my God, girl. It's just
I
so
wasn't bring
bad.
that up. I was
Yeah,
gonna, I was
it's
gonna ask
bad.
the expert. I was gonna ask the expert here what his
Yeah.
thoughts were. Okay, good. Woo!
Yeah, it was
You
just
just didn't like that
bad.
Puerto Rican
I remember
accent.
it was even Puerto Rican. I think I would have preferred Puerto Rican, like a native speaker, but
Okay,
it was
good.
bad.
All right, good. I feel
It was
better.
basically a white person reading Spanish lines.
Okay, good.
That's
There we go.
that's how I heard it.
All right, I agree with you on that one. That was bad. Also, too. Yes. Woo! I feel better now. Yeah, I agree. I did not like that myself, and I had basically two good lines: the beginning and the end. Kind of cheesy, but the beginning when he was talking about the border. Well, the border. Those days, it was just a line in the dirt, and at the end, basically how they're having their cup of coffee, and they just talk to each other and say, "Yeah, God has been good to us." Then they just drink coffee, and that's how they left it at everything. After all that stuff, commotion, they just said, "Everything, God's been good to us. We had children." So I thought that was pretty cool how they ended that. So those were the
I
two good
didn't
lines
like
for me.
that. I didn't like that, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, actually, you know what? I like that line because I think it's talks
Which one?
to the last one of like God is good, and I think people focus too much on the negative. And one of the things that I feel that especially recent immigrants, they are more, I don't want to say grateful, but they focus more on the positive, on family. They have a job, they're surviving,
Right.
they're making it versus always, I mean, yeah, there's always going to be negative stuff in your life, but I think they don't really focus on that. They focus on what they have, which is family. They have a job, they have their health basics, and they're happy.
True.
And I was like,
Yeah.
and that's true.
Yeah.
What? I missed that because all I know is the dad got into a fight with Chucho. Chucho dies. The dad never got that comfort of saying goodbye to his son. Two is Jimmy losing his wife, beating up the doctor, taking that aggression out, and then
Good.
it took a while, but that father son dynamic is gone, and then what's his name? Menu or Memo. He was like super
Oh yeah.
white, and he's just like that, like like I don't know. I just thought like so grateful. I was like, I know
No, but
that it wasn't good, man. Your son died like by the cops in front of you because he was a dope dealer. I don't know. Maybe I saw something else.
well, to rebut your first one, after he kicked his son, Chucho out. He was working and Jimmy was narrating that he felt conflicted of like kicking his son out of the house, but at the same time feeling like he did the right thing. Putting limits, basically saying like you're not going to be selling dope under my house.
Yeah.
So dad just did what he thought was the right thing to do, and he still loved his son. In regards to what was the second part that you said?
I said that Jimmy struggling to live his life
Oh no,
because
Memo,
oh,
Memo being
yeah,
white
Memo,
voice.
like
No,
yeah, like this out his family. Like he never showed up. He showed up once, and he was like to introduce his wife, and that was it.
no, but I think that's True in a in regards to a family that with multiple kids of and each kid having a different life experience. You know, Memo went to UCLA, went to law school. He needed to really, and especially in the early 90s, really adapt to the culture that he was in, which is white,
Yeah.
especially in the early 90s, going to law school.
Mhm.
I'm sure there he was probably the only one there. So
Yeah.
he needed to assimilate in a different manner. And that's what he that's, I don't want to say that's all he knew, but he was trying to be accepted by probably his law firm, his new in-laws, his friends, his colleagues, his friends from college. So I understand why. So,
Yeah, I understand why, but he wasn't part of the family. So how is like he left?
yeah, because he was in college and working, and now he lived on the west side. And he's like, I ain't going back to the East L.A.
What's up? Yeah, I had a problem with that guy too, but we'll talk about him later.
Memo or what?
Memo, yeah.
All right, moving on. Plot hole
I didn't even say my
control.
lines. I didn't even say my lines, man.
Moving
To me,
on.
the easy line to me is Jimmy's son when he's like going off on his dad, like telling him to F out of here. I was like, dang. I was like, and Jimmy's like, son, come on, man. You know, convict, Latino, he was like, smack. Give me that belt. You don't say that. Back special.
Well, I think that's where it's complicated. I mean, he wasn't in his life and he's trying to regain his son's trust, love. And how are you going to come to a kid that you haven't raised, that you haven't really seen, and tell him how to act? And I think he said it in a stern way of like, you're not going to talk to me like that. But at the same time, trying to get him to open up. So he needed to show restraint. And also, I think it would have been a different situation had he raised his kid. Kind of like the main father in Chucho, you know, kicking his son out after his dad. The Chucho told him basically no one wants to work as, you know, at SPIT.
Yeah.
Or I said SPIK. Anyways, I'm not even sure how to spell it. But the dad ended up trying to fight the Chucho. So again, the dad was present with Chucho. Jimmy was not.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Moving on to plot hole.
Yes.
Plot hole. I mean, it's a different multi-generational family stories. I think there wasn't any obvious. I mean, if there was, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. But for me, was the Spanglish, like the switching from English to Spanish, or saying half a sentence in English, and right, it was terrible.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
I was like, oh, you know, it was bad. Like when Chucho was like hiding and he's telling the little kid, yeah, something about like, don't worry, carnal, and how's que dice papa? I was like, what? No one talks like that.
You're more harsh than I was, Bumby. Wow.
So, do Mexicans do say that to their dad, jefe, instead of dad? That was like, that threw me. Well, they do. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was.
Okay.
Anyway,
plot hole for me is gonna be. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Plot hole for me is gonna be the nun. Like, there's no explanation why she wants to be a nun. There's like no setup, nothing. She becomes a nun, and then she meets Mr. Quantum Leap himself, Scott Bakula, and then she's like, I can't be no nun now, and then marries him. So I just want to know what, you know, like, where did all that come from? You know, something, you know, as a kid, showing us that she was interested as being a nun or something, and then so because when she left the nunhood, it was just a sex scene that they show with Scott Bakula, right? Like they didn't show much of what
Yeah,
happened
that
in
was
between them. I'm
my
like,
what
what?
moment right there. I
Yeah,
needed clarification on that.
that white D man, I guess.
I needed more clarification, as in more of the scene. But yes,
Yeah.
my what moment. Wasn't enough time. But anyway, go on. Yeah,
No,
talk
that's
about
it.
that
That's all
later.
I got.
Okay, we were
That was
screwing out
pretty
of
gay.
that.
That was pretty gay.
All right, plot hole for me would be the whole. I know it's a movie; they got to move this along, but the whole marry a citizen. Let's get this going. Go, go, go. I mean, they just moved it, moved it, moved it. I know it's part of a movie, but I think they should have gotten a little more details about it. You got to marry her. Here you go. And the guy, even the guy giving the papers. Yeah, I don't understand at the end of what they were talking about, but that was the only thing for me. I think they would have just done without it. It wasn't needed the way they did it for me. So yeah, I know it's excruciating. It's a long process, but I think it would have been without it. That's all.
No, the only thing that was missing is Pagame. That's the only thing. Nah. Give me 10 grand or whatever.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't
that
hear
would
what you said, Jennifer Lopez. What?
have been. He did say the
Uh,
Spanish pretty good earlier, though. But yes,
wow. Cálmate, carnal.
háblate,
Ahora.
carnal.
Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on, moving on. Deleted scenes we wish we had or existed. For me, it was the mom, Maria, because she got deported. Where did she get deported to? How did she get to her, I guess,
Central
grandma's house?
Mexico.
Yeah, like where in Mexico did she go?
Yeah.
How did she get money to
Details,
get back? Yeah, like
right?
I wish just that. I mean, there's a lot of missing parts of the movie that you don't really get told, but I think a big part was her getting deported. I
Yeah.
wish there was a little bit more of that, of how did she get back or where did she go?
Yeah, like how did she get to LA like, from the border to her house?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did pretty good.
And actually, wait, and also to think about it, I'm guessing that river is what's that river in Texas?
You
Rio
live
Grande?
there.
Rio Grande.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, Rio Grande.
Well, she was going to California. There's no river.
That's true. Yes.
Unless she went to Texas and from Texas to California.
I was gonna say, yeah, Texas. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
There's
the
no
dad
river.
never crossed the river.
There's that beam. Hey, wait
Oh,
a minute.
yeah.
You're right.
But again, we don't know
Right.
where she went. So,
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
That's true.
yeah, we don't. Right?
I would have liked more scenes of explaining why they were so obsessed with the Virgen. Like she was like, "You gotta pray to the Virgen. You gotta, all this stuff." And then they had that whole ceremony for the baby. She didn't want to take him to a doctor. She took him to the church. I was like, "What?"
Right.
Like, I
Yeah,
just
I
want to know
Googled
where
that.
like
I
where
know.
all that came from. Like, why is that such a big deal to her and her own?
Right. That's true. I was curious there too. For me, was Jimmy and his prison time. After watching Fight Club, I would have liked to see a little more prison time. Nothing really happened. I'm sure there are molesting moments and fights and so on.
We don't know if he was the one biting the pillow or making someone else bite the pillow. We don't know.
I would like to see the scene at least. Speaking of that, I would like to see the other sex scene. I mean, come on, what was that all about? More explanation, please. Details. If you're gonna show that, show more details. Anyway, that's it for me.
All right, moving on. What's the vibe of the movie, or what vibe do
I
you
don't know.
get from the movie? Well, for me, I would say it's very much the immigrant story, the Mexican American specifically, because it's mostly Mexican American. A big part of it, Hispanic family. So for me, it's very much a family immigrant. story.
Yes, I agree with that. But to me, the emotional attachment to the characters sometimes was lost. Like,
Right. Yeah,
you
that's
know,
what I was
so
gonna
that was my
say.
thing. Like, the only emotional character I had was with Jimmy. You know,
Jimmy, yeah.
because the end of the movie, that was like the whole plot was just him separation with his parents. That was good, but it didn't make me like have that emotional attachment to it or like that. I'm with you. I understand your struggle kind of thing, you know. But I'll give it one thing: like the dad learned English. Like there's a lot of Latino dads out there that don't even know any word of English, and they've been here so long. So I was like,
We know that. We
hey,
know. We know about them too. Yes.
yeah, right. So I was like,
Well,
hey, man,
I think that's also because of the time. The time I don't think there was as many. I mean, there was definitely in East L.A., but they had to go to work, and I don't think a lot of people spoke even a little bit of Spanish. And I'm talking about like non-Hispanic people, white people, versus now there's way more Hispanic people, and even white people
Yeah.
speak some basic Spanish. At least in Arizona and California, some places of Texas. So I think it's probably back in that time, it was more like you had to, versus now it's more of like you'll you're able to get around because there's always someone to speak Spanish.
Yeah. What he
So
said. Yeah.
why would you? I guess my question would be, what would make you feel more connected to the movie, or what was lacking in the movie that didn't make you feel connected to the character?
For me, I think it was too many characters that they had to in a 2 hour movie. They had to push for that. I know it's 6 kids, and they had to push those kids to for you to like 'em. And at the end, we just focused on Jimmy, and that's when I felt like there was more emotional attachment with Jimmy because you had a character development there. His arc is where he finally succeeds, and his son finally talks to him. I and the other one it was Chucho. I like him, but you knew that something bad was gonna happen when he was a dope guy and the gang leader and all that. So you knew not that emotional attachment was gonna be there, but you saw Jimmy having that bond, so you know that Jimmy's gonna be heartbroken by it. So that's why I felt like yes, it had it, but it was only one character that you had it with, and not the whole family or all the characters.
I could
Yeah.
tell you that maybe that could have been done intentionally. You
Yeah,
know,
good.
big family, individuals get lost, individuals,
Mhm.
or kids get it
Yeah.
lost as individuals, and it's more about the family.
Okay. Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know if it was done intentionally like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with my brother. If they had shown a little bit more, they did show some, traditions, if you want to call it, that they did. Came together as a family, doing the whole party thing and everything.
That
If
is
they had
true.
shown a little bit more of that instead of just going to Jimmy and his whole scenario. But other than that, I mean, it was there. I just wish they had shown more of that tradition stuff with the family. That's all.
Yeah. Like,
But
yeah, I agree
squeeze
with that. Like
everybody in.
quinceañera, you only got the wedding, and that was it. But there was no other stuff.
That's
Yeah.
it.
If they did that more, yeah, I would have built, built
Right.
that relationship with them. I agree with that.
But you got 2 hours, so.
Yeah.
But like you said too, Juan, they gotta show everybody's different stories too. They gotta squeeze those in too.
It's all about
Yeah.
memo. Yeah.
The
Guillermo,
lawyer,
the
Yeah.
lawyer. Yeah, we'll talk about him soon. Yeah.
yeah, Memo, Bill. His name is Bill.
Bill.
All right. All right. Would you survive the movie?
Nope.
And I think it depends how you would phrase this movie, or how you interpret the question. I think, yes, we're here. I don't think a lot of things have changed. You know, how they show at the beginning of the movie, or you get deported. It didn't matter whether you were there legally or not. They just grabbed you if you look Mexican and deported you. And I don't think there's much of a difference right now with what's going on. It's not like they're asking you what be sure your legal status. In a lot of cases, people have been detained for over a week or weeks, being legal or being citizens. Um, the reason why I chose the movie is just because, again, I think there's a lot of parallels to what's going on now, and I don't think much has changed.
Nope.
Would you survive it? Yes, because we're still here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wouldn't survive in a way of the way they started from scratch and all that. That's hardcore. I mean, nothing's changed. Even for me being a citizen, I still get questioned. Of course, I live in Arizona, so it just depends. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it that way, if we should survive, yeah, I'm still here. So yeah, you're right. I guess technically I would. But if I look back to the father and J.Lo and how they did all that stuff, I'd probably say no. That's a lot of stuff that we've missed out on details. So just depends. So I guess you said it. Yeah, if we're still here, we survived.
We're still surviving, baby. Still surviving. So yeah, I agree. We wouldn't, we would survive. Yes.
Okay.
All right, and what about your favorite scene? Do you have a favorite scene? Which one is it? For me, is when Memo brought his family over to meet his family in East L.A. And although I think it was a little bit over the top with the little kid jumping going in and peeing.
Is that what he did?
I really I really gravitated to this what is it called this particular scene just because I'm also dating someone that's not Hispanic. Yes, he is white, and so the whole like bringing him to
That's
meet
that
my
like
family and. Yeah, and it was on Thanksgiving, and there was a lot of family members. So it was kind of like awkward. I was like, my mom also having. I mean, she understands a lot of English, but I think she gets more shy speaking it because it does have a thick accent, and she just wants to make sure that people understand her. So her being shy, trying to talk to my partner name is Philip, and so I really gravitated to that particular scene just because it's something that I went through myself.
Good point. Good. You want to go ahead?
you go. I forgot the question.
Favorite scenes?
Oh, there it is. That's what it was.
You already forgot? No. Jeez, favorite scene. Besides the sexual comments I said earlier, I like the awkward moment. Irene's dad, Jose, whatever his name is, he did a speech, that terrible speech for the wedding. I thought that was hilarious the way he did it because it was a terrible speech. And also, I like the scene when she left her order, as they call it, as a nun, and then the husband left the order. So it's like, wait, does that work? Does that happen? I like that scene too because that's the first thing I would have questioned too. Like, wait, how does that happen? So that was funny. Those were the two or three for the other ones.
From my favorite scenes is going back to the wedding one is the whole joking around about the sister. They all want her and they all
Oh yeah.
yeah. He's like, I'll get my left nut.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Wow, they actually showed that? Wow.
Yeah, he said that. And then how in the Spanish community, the chisme, they're like, what? She's already a nun? Like, what? Everybody knew right away. Like, they all talk fast. Yeah. I was like, that's culture right there.
That's typical, yeah. That's typical.
Yeah. And then I also like Chucho's car. I think that was a great scene. The way he had to open it from the bottom and then open the car. And I think it was nice scenes. Just the car. I think there should have been like a race scene in there to show more of that car. But yeah, that's about it.
Good
Actually,
ones.
that's another great point. Like Chucho had a really nice car. Didn't the dad say, "Hey, how did you get money to buy this car?"
Yeah, I know.
I have no job.
Drug money. It's a nice car, man.
All right. What about any cameos, guest stars, or celebrity stars? For me, well, like the obvious Jennifer Lopez,
Yeah.
and then the other one is Mary. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. Steenburgen.
Yeah, that's the friend that wanted, right? That's the friend that wanted
Right.
the refugee to marry Jimmy.
Oh,
Right.
her. Yeah,
The
that's
one
right.
that her friend
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
they always get pregnant."
Yeah.
Yes, that her racist friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Racist
Yeah.
Karen.
That's what I was gonna say. Her, whatever her name is. Yeah, I agree. And
It
yeah,
was in the
Jamie.
movie Elf. She's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
Never
she
saw it.
has.
Never, oh, I
Yeah.
like that one too.
For me, it's gonna be Scott Bakula. Short scene, but it was nice to see him in there. I was like, wow, Mr. Quantum Leap,
Wait, who's
man.
that?
Quantum Leap. That's the daughter, the nun, her husband, the priest that
Left the order. How's it
left
called?
the order. Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Good.
Yeah,
He was
whatever.
unnecessary roughness. It was a great movie. It's a
no.
horror moment. Oh, jeez.
Forgot about that movie. Wow. Yeah.
It's a nice football movie. Check it out. Maybe
Good.
I'll do that for you guys. And then it's nice to see a lot of Latino characters that are in every Latino movie in this movie. Like the guy that said, "I'll give my left nut to the sister."
Yes,
He's
yes,
in
yes,
a
yes.
short role,
Oh
but
yeah.
he's in a lot of Latino movies. And then even like I was looking at the cast, even Marissa Tomei, they say is in this, but I was like, I gotta want to rewatch it. I don't remember her. Or maybe she's like a
Yeah, I
background
saw that too,
character.
but I couldn't find her.
Yeah. So that was weird. But yeah. And then of course Jimmy, because he's gonna be Star Wars, baby.
Yeah. I have to watch that again. I guess I don't remember.
He's in the first episode 1, 2, and 3.
You gotta
Star
suffer
Wars.
those movies.
Oh, you don't have to suffer through the first one, but you can watch the second and third. Those are the best.
All right.
Um,
So, what about recasting? Yeah, would you recast any actor or character? If so, why? For me, no. I think everyone did a decent job. I think even though Jennifer Lopez's Spanish was horrible, I think her acting was to be.
Jeez.
I'm not a hater, man.
What about
I
you
agree.
guys?
I'm gonna have to go with Jimmy's son. I didn't like his acting. Like a kid is upset. Like
It's a child.
I didn't, yeah, the child. Get him out. Get somebody else.
Really?
I didn't like him. I didn't think he did a good job. I felt like
I think that
he
was the
was
point.
Yeah, that was the
he
whole
was he
point.
was
That was the
pretending
point.
to act. It wasn't natural. Like you saw him like going
It's a
crazy and then
child. It's a
Macaulay Culkin's a
child.
child and he did a great job. All right. So
I
if
guess
he
you just
can
want to
do it, this kid could
smack
have
him
done
around.
it.
Show him a few things. Yeah, you being a father, I'm sure you probably would. Yes, I can see that. I wouldn't change anybody. Yeah, I'm all good except for that. Yeah, what he said about the bad
No.
Spanish, but I wouldn't change anybody.
I would have also gotten rid of Edward James Olmos. He didn't do anything in this movie. Like he wasn't even
He was the
he didn't need to be in
narrator.
this. Yeah, you could have gotten anybody. He did a good job. Usually
Yeah,
the
that's true.
narrator is like somebody important in the cast talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, not he wasn't
No,
important. He wasn't.
no, I think it's a great way of
Hmm.
showcasting a big fat Mexican family. There's always like that one kid that people kind of forget about. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, that kid. That's basically Edward James Olmos.
That's not. That's not Vader.
All right, moving on, moving on. Going to wait, what? A scene that made zero sense for me was, I think we slightly talked about it was Jimmy going back to jail. So after his wife died, like why? Understand
Yeah.
why? Is it
Yeah.
that he wants to go back to something that feels familiar? I was just confused. I'm like, why?
Now let's clarify what you mean by that. But yes, sorry,
Maybe
my
he wanted
dirty
to
mind.
buy some pillows. I don't know.
All right, moving
Oh,
on. So, scenes. Wait, what moment? Yeah, obviously the sex scene that was very random. Like what the whole point of that was for,
which
show
one?
some. Which one? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And
Like,
then wait, one moment. I guess I was told that that was J.Lo the whole time, being an older woman. I'm still in
no,
shock.
no, no. The younger woman. The younger woman.
No, I know. I was talking about the older. That's not her.
No, no, no,
No,
no,
no, it's a
no.
Yeah,
different actress.
Yeah,
that's what I was
yeah.
It's a
asking.
different
Yeah,
actress.
I'm like, damn. Oh, okay. Whew. I thought I was losing it. All right. Okay. Then it scratched that one. Another way one moment was we actually saw when Chucho got shot in the head. That was like
Yeah, it's
more details than I
crazy.
needed to see. Like, whoa, that's wow. Yeah, that was
But
more
that's
gruesome than I needed.
kind of, that's kind of like what the suit riots were about, like people being shot. What is it called? Before it was more of a shoot first, ask questions later. It was during that time they forgot the legal term where the government is able to kick you out of your home for the good of the government, not the government, but the nation of the people.
Tyler?
No, basically you own a house, and the government could say, "We're going to build something here. You need to move. There's no
Oh,
legal recourse for you." Eminent
sanctuary?
domain? No,
Sanctuary?
eminent
I
domain?
don't know.
No, no.
Oh,
Anyways, where the Dodgers Stadium was built, it was a Hispanic community or a neighborhood, and people were literally kicked out of their house, being dragged by the cops, and some even shot.
yeah.
So I think it kind of gives you a little bit of insight of like how it was back then with the cops
Yeah.
policing and the communities.
Even the 90s cops were very
Yeah,
itchy trigger in
mind you, when Chucho got
California.
shot, I think it was the 70s or 80s. I can't remember. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta agree with Juan. I didn't understand why Jimmy went to prison again the second time. Like, what? You have a kid, and your first reaction is, "Let me beat up some people and go back to jail." Like, what? That made no sense. Like that thinking, that made no sense to me. He could have like stepped up, be like, "My wife is gone. I can be showing my son how to be amazing like my wife and things like that." But instead, he chose to go to jail, and then he gives up and he's like, "I'm gonna move to Texas." I was like, "What? Okay." Like quitter. So just that like made no sense to me. And then like what you said, the random sex scene, like explaining the priest and the nun. I was like, okay, so this is the explanation is just them having sex. Like I'm like, what? Like what? Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's get what they want. Get the audience
And
what they want.
then the Jimmy and his wife sex scene was weird because they're like doing it and then they stop and then they're crying. I was like, what the heck? I was like, okay.
Finish the scene, man.
Richard, for a sensitive guy, you're not that sensitive. I mean, you are, but you're not.
Oh,
That
make sure
makes
your
no
head's that
sense,
part.
bro. No,
Show
makes
us some more
no.
skin.
Oh.
Gosh. I'm glad you agree with me on that one part at least. That's
Uh,
good.
What about you, Joe?
I already said that, this random sex scene and the
he wants to see
getting shot.
more Jimmy biting the pillow.
It's called Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh, man.
You'll find the scene that you're looking for.
Oh man.
Yes, yes, I am. Moving on.
All right. And is this movie underrated, overrated, and would you cue it or screw it? I would say it's underrated. I don't think a lot of people know about it, especially nowadays. I feel like there's less and less of these kind of movies, not necessarily just immigrant stories, but just a mostly Latino cast,
Yeah,
big budget
yeah.
movie. I really feel it's underrated. I think you should cue it. Is it the best movie? No. Is the Spanglish bad? Yes. But I think you can see a little bit of like your family, even if you're second, third generation, how your parents or great grandparents basically their upbringing, and I think you'll definitely get something out of it, especially if you're Hispanic or an immigrant.
I don't know. I feel like that there is more movies like that. Didn't you see like the Cheetos movie? I got the name of it. And then the one where the guy wants to be an astronaut and then he fights to be an astronaut. So they don't go to the theaters; they just go to
I
streaming
said
service.
mostly Latino cast. I
Oh,
didn't see
oh.
Cheetos, so I'm not sure. But the astronaut one was with the actor, and I do like it because I saw him. I saw the movie. The ant guy. What's his name?
Yeah, I
He always
forgot.
plays a cop. He always plays a cop.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we
yeah,
did
I
the
saw
movie with
that
them.
movie. Yeah, it was not mostly Latino. It's not a mostly Latino cast.
How about
So
Blue Beetle, the DC movie? You got George
yeah.
Lopez.
That's like the only one that I know of in the last few years.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, didn't do well, but
I couldn't watch that shit. That was
I thought it was good. Like, was it great? No, but
Lopez, but yeah,
better than the Green Lantern, that's for sure.
Yeah, anything beats that movie. Yeah, that's true.
Well, why
Even
you
he
gotta attack
agrees.
the Green Lantern?
Or what's the other movie that really sucked? Wonder Woman, the second part. That was trash.
1970, whatever.
Yeah.
80.
75 or something.
Yeah, that was
75.
trash. I was like, man, I can't believe people. This is trash.
So yeah, I think this movie's underrated. I think people need to watch it. It's very informational. Like I think like the whole immigrants coming to the US and how they built here, yes, and how the kids are growing up, yes, but a lot of this movie was also I felt like I had a little whitewashing in there, So but it's all right. Underrated, definitely watch it. Take what you can from it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Actually, I was hesitant at the ending with the memo. Was that necessary? But to answer that question, it was necessary to show that there's always going to be that one group in that member in the group who moves on and now wants to be affiliated with the family. So that was
Which does happen.
which just happened, yes. So that was another reason why people need to watch this because it does happen, and yeah, it's underrated and they should watch it. Even though the ending was questionable with that scene, but I can see why he did it because it does happen. So that was well done. So yeah, you should watch it. Aside from the Spanglish, like you said. I think that's it.
I don't know.
Don't you always close out? That was the last question.
Oh,
I didn't know you were done. Oh, I didn't know.
I mean, is there another question? I mean, I went through all the questions.
No,
There's
Okay,
yeah, exactly. We always end with cue it or screw it.
Yeah,
cue it.
Cue it. I thought, yeah, cue it.
All right.
Calm down there. Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This movie is very underrated. Everybody wants to see the start of J.Lo before she became big. I don't know if this was before In Living Color or during In Living Color. I'll have to search that. But it's nice. A lot of Latino cast members in this movie, and yeah, definitely check it out. And then next movie, I think it's me. Yeah, it's me. So I'll definitely decide on a movie. And one thing this movie did do that I really appreciate was that it showed the California skyline and the buildings. They look really beautiful. Like I don't know when it was like they were filming at, but it made it look really nice, And then that bridge, I think that bridge, I've only driven it a few times. I don't even know, but the one that they always cross to go work, maybe I think I've crossed it. Yeah, 'cause I don't go to East L.A. So anyway, bad Hispanic, I know. But anyway, with that, we will see you next week. Thank you guys.
Woo!
Woo.